Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Mississippi Live Weather Studio for Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and we have a lot to discuss today. But first, let's just talk about the temperatures. Already on the climb heading into the next couple of days, but feeling it this afternoon. That's all due to rain chances being very limited in fashion over the next few days. Already saw that this afternoon. Like I mentioned, limited chances of rainfall. But what we're also looking at is hot, I'm going to emphasize hot one more time, temperatures ahead. But we also find out, well, what's the matter? Where's Matt at? What has his Canadian vacation taken him to? He'll give us a live look from what he experienced and updates on how he slept in that train. And we'll get a full update from him out in the field. Again, just still grateful for him, but glad that he's getting some vacation time here as he's been working 24/7 here at Mississippi Live Weather. But looking at those hot temperatures, we felt it this afternoon, but it's been paired with beautiful blue skies. I mean, across the region, we're seeing that beautiful blue skies paired with plenty of sunshine, but 93 degrees, like 106. The reason why it looks great is because we're looking at it from an air-conditioned studio here at the Room to Room Weather Center. So we're not really getting the real feel of outside, but walk outside and trust me, you'll feel it in a split second. Same thing as we take a look down and around Pontotoc, 93 degrees, feels like 102. So the further east you go, where there's been a few more chances of rain showers, that has limited just how high that humidity value got to. So that mugginess factor, not as much of a threat. But when we say not as much, we're talking about 102 instead of 106. So take your blessings where you can, but I'll definitely take that over 106 any day. I wanted to look up here towards Corinth at the Crossroads Museum. A big thank you to the Iron Rail Cam, just getting us a shot up there. 90 degrees right now, but we were getting some isolated showers developing along the Tennessee state line. This is really the only spot that you'll be able to see it as it moves across Alcorn County. Looking at our Mississippi Live Weather radar, as of 6:01, not seeing anything overly significant. I mean, just zooming in on that area up there towards the Tennessee state line. I'm going to check something behind the scenes here real quick. So yeah, just looking at along the Tennessee state line, you can see a very energetic storm towards Middleton, Tennessee, right over the state line by Brownfield. That's Highway 15 moving north, and as we look at the past couple of scans, we're going to take it 30 minutes or so. Not a quick mover. We're talking about miles an hour max on this speed of this storm. But 20 to 25 strikes over the last 10 minutes is definitely an energetic storm and our most significant one that we're seeing across the region. But I want to go ahead and put it on now, and we can get a storm track on that as it extends in that eastern fashion. So if you know of anyone out there towards Tennessee, this is really for them. And see, we're not even populating an area on here. So the reason why is just because across state line, it's trending across the state line. As you see the last few movements on this, we go do that scan one more time, just watching it over the last 30 minutes or so. Not exactly an imminent threat for North Mississippi. So Cuba over there towards Gift and Corinth, not expecting too much other than a few sprinkles, maybe even some light rainfall for you guys. But overall, the bulk of that storm going to stay towards Sulphur Springs, Selmer, and Eastview, and remain just an energetic thunderstorm. Nothing severe with that system. I want to expand things out one more time, and we can take a look at a few showers that are trying to develop back towards the south. This one going to be down around Jackson. We're going to take that Doppler or Mississippi Live Weather radar down around Jackson. See those showers developing along I-20, but overall not an imminent threat. And as we saw yesterday, we were talking about storms trying to enter Attala County. Those did not make it. So that shows the atmosphere that we're in. Not exactly a significant forcing mechanism. So a lot of these showers that are happening remain short-lived, and the lifespan very limited as well. When we look at our severe weather threats, a few of these, showing some at least potential for small hail, but it's really going to be the heavy rainfall. 2 inches per hour in the heart of that storm. Some of that, we're talking about a ½ inch to an inch an hour, moving into northern Alcorn County, currently over northern Tippah County, just riding that 72 corridor north across the Tennessee state line. So that's the primary area that we are watching. A few light showers out there towards Tishomingo, getting over towards 3/4 of an inch to an inch. So that's the main threats. It's just heavy rainfall, but it's going to be brief. So flash flooding, not a main concern. So what is the concern for our Sunday evening? It's going to be the heat. You can see as we've tracked rainfall totals, we talked about that heavy rainfall, and we're going to keep on this just for one more little minute. 1.5 inches total there, northern Tishomingo County. As we talk about over the Tennessee state line, a ½ inch total, and even a few more showing about an inch up there. But looking over towards Florence, seeing, let me put this off here, repopulate these. We're seeing about a ½ inch there on the other side of Florence, on the west side of town. But there's your extent of the rainfall over the last 12 hours. Really across North Mississippi, it's been a much drier pattern, especially compared to our Saturday. And we'll take every second of that we can get. But the rainfall did have some blessings, and it was the cooler weather that we got with it. So whenever we talk about a drier system, a drier pattern that we're going to be under, you know what that means. Temperatures bumping way up. 88 degrees by 7, dropping to 81 by 10. And towards the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, we're talking mid to upper 70s to start the day. That is well above average, and it just shows that warming trend that we're under. That little chance of relief, that 10% chance of relief, but a lot of folks hoping they're under that 10%. But unfortunately for a lot of us, not going to be. We extend just a live look at our Mississippi Live Weather Radar. I'm going to expand it out because the main reason why we're getting a lot of those showers along the Tennessee state line is because of this frontal boundary towards the north. Usually we get a lot of activity along that frontal boundary, especially a stationary front with the moisture, with the clouds, and with the possible rain showers like what we're seeing across the region. High pressure out there towards the Gulf also playing a factor because what this does with that clockwise rotation, of course, it moves in some of that continental air down there towards Florida and southern Georgia and southern Alabama, but it wraps up this Gulf moisture into Mississippi because we're on the west side of the high pressure. So all has to do with the spin of the system, and that's going to account, or attribute, should I say, a few showers towards southern Mississippi and adding to that forcing mechanism to interact with a few showers trying to develop over Tennessee and doing a good job at developing, as we saw just a few scans ago. But that frontal boundary, that's going to be where that severe weather threat lies. So for us here in North Mississippi, nothing severe. It's just going to be a pretty decent downpour for a lot of these afternoon showers. We keep forecasts going into our overnight hours, and you can see that frontal boundary, I mean, stationary is the name of the game because that moves very little as we head overnight. A lot of that just lingers towards Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri. And down here in North Mississippi, we're trying to get a few isolated chances, but it's battling a significant uphill battle that it's not going to win too often. So into the overnight, expecting those dry conditions to persist and a lot of that moisture to remain up north towards the start of our Monday. That's where a few of those showers do try to at least develop over the top of North Mississippi as that frontal boundary just creeps a little bit closer, enough close to develop a few on the northeast side of the viewing area. I know that's the only portions that got rain today, probably going to be the case for our Monday as well. So looking that expanded into the mid-morning, that frontal system breaks off and that transitions to a warm front. That's what we're kind of tracking. That warm front going to allow some of that warmer Gulf moisture to get into North Mississippi. That's the threat for rainfall for tomorrow. And believe me when I say it is not going to be a significant threat. 10% basically lingers across the area all day long as we are on the backside of that warm frontal boundary. So that's the only relief that we could have from those hot temperatures. Make me speak right talking about them. I'm fearful of those mid to upper 90s. But yeah, a few showers definitely possible. And we'll walk through where those chances are happening coming up here in the next 60. But buckle up for a hot pattern. It's just going to be toasty for the next, not just 24 hours, but we're talking about 72 to 96 hours. That's 3-4 days in the future. So hope you have your water bottle handy and hope you have your air conditioner working because you're going to need it as we head into the rest of the forecast. We'll track all of that coming up in the next 60, and we'll also find out.
I was made for this, crawling through the muck to find where the real problems hide.
All this dampness, it's perfect for mold, and that can mean headaches, rashes, even chronic illness for your family.
That's why we offer our Healthy Home 7-point mold inspection to restore your health by restoring your home.
Focusing on water and mold control from the crawl space to the roof, you can call Absolute Restoration, your local and trusted restoration contractor.
Your family deserves the most beautiful smile possible. At Tupelo Smiles, we use precision dentistry and advanced technology to make visiting the dentist an amazing experience. Relationship-based comprehensive care. Come discover the difference at Tupelo Smiles.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Into the rest of the work week. I do want to point out I was able to read a few comments down in chat. And Rachel, you're asking if Matt and I are MSU alumni. I actually am. I'm a Bulldog alumni. I graduated back in 2023. But Matt actually graduated from University of Kansas up there at KU. So he's a Jayhawk. I'm a Bulldog, but we all get along here at Mississippi Live Weather. Well, let's go ahead and talk about temperatures. And this is where we can all huddle together and agree that this is miserable. We're talking low to mid 90s right now. That's a drastic difference from what we had even yesterday. That's because yesterday had so much rain-cooled air. I mean, yesterday we were talking about high temperatures in the low to mid 80s in some spots. But right now we're seeing 11-degree difference, 12-degree difference right here in the middle portion of our viewing area down from Winston County to Chickasaw, all the way north there towards Union County. But even out in the Delta, where it was a much drier forecast, we're talking about a 4, 5, even 6-degree difference in some parts. So it's just going to be a hot pattern moving forward, and we'll see plenty of pluses on that graphic moving forward because of how high those temperatures trend. Feels like values right now across the region. We're seeing 110 out there towards Tunica, 106 Senatobia, Southaven, and Clarksdale, 102 towards Greenville, and even out here where it's usually a cooler forecast, we're talking 109 Amory, Columbus, 105 Starkville, 104 down towards Macon. So it's hot, it's muggy, it's miserable. It's a time where you need to be in air conditioning. But let's go ahead and look at those rainfall totals. And I know we looked at this a moment ago, but I really want you to pay attention to where the rain has happened. And it's been this far northeast portion of our viewing area. So basically, if you live north of 72, you know it was a rainy forecast. But everywhere south of that has said it is dry, miserable, it's sticky, it's not the ideal forecast. They are saying it's beautiful. The sunshine, warming up that atmosphere. But that's really the area to pay attention to, is just how much rainfall has happened just in that isolated area. We say 10 to 20% in the forecast. That's what we're talking about. It could be very hyper-focused on a select area, but that 10 to 20% does not go a long way. Still, I mean, temperatures were in the mid-90s up there in Tishomingo and Alcorn County. It feels like values in the triple digits. So that rainfall not doing too much for relief, that is our only saving grace as we head overnight. So for our day planner, we are seeing the cooler temperatures move in, but starting the day in the mid-70s, upper 70s for a lot of locations, that's well above average. You see that normal low at 73, so 3 to 4 degree difference, and our normal high is going to be on the lower side as well. We're going to be well above that for our afternoon high temperatures. Buckle up for the hot temperatures. You're going to hear me say it over and over and over again, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and walk through that day planner overnight for rain chances, and that's little to none. And that's the reason why it's going to be so warm towards tomorrow, is because of that little rain relief that we'll have. Yesterday was great temperature-wise, but it's because of a lot of those rain showers cooling off that air. Now, there's your chance to add a few showers overnight, really sticking around that far northeast portion of North Mississippi. But overnight, a lot of us just staying on the drier side. A few showers do try to develop along that frontal boundary, but overall, we're not going to see any active pattern, especially not like what we had for Saturday. So calm conditions overnight. A few showers do try to develop, but still staying on the drier side for a good portion of North Mississippi. By early hours of our Monday, we're waking up and heading out the door to a dry forecast. But isolated showers do try to develop, and that's what we're paying attention to, is this same primary sector that got rain today. So share the love, Iuka. Share the love, Corinth. We need a little bit of rainfall here, even back towards Tupelo, cooling us off just a bit. But Monday morning, that's not when it matters. It's really towards the afternoon. So as those temperatures build, we're going to be starting in the mid-70s for a lot of locations. But as that day builds and the sun comes out and warms us up, those isolated showers towards the afternoon are going to be the only saving grace as those temperatures get very hot. So by mid to late morning, still staying on the drier side, we do have a few models projecting at least an isolated shower or two trying to develop. So it's enough to have that umbrella in the back seat, but don't really go into the day expecting to use it. By 1, 2 o'clock, you're still seeing that dry forecast in place, but there's that result of the frontal boundary, that interaction of the high pressure system down in the Gulf, wrapping around that Gulf moisture and producing at least 1 or 2 showers, 1 or 2 pretty heavy downpours at times, but nothing severe. It'll just be your typical summer shower. By 4 or 5 o'clock, you can see those chances still just popping up, very sporadic in development, but a few locations that are not the northeast area, so we are getting some of that love tomorrow, are trying to develop some of those showers down around Golden Triangle, even as far south as Knoxville County. So buckle up for more widespread chances, but not going to be overly significant chances to really cool us off. And there you can see it on your high temperatures. I mean, the areas that are getting the rainfall, far northeast Mississippi, going to be in the low 90s. Everywhere else, mid-90s, with a lot of locations coming in with the upper 90s. And we'll touch on what the result of that is here in just a moment. But heat indices are going to be 110 for a lot of locations, Greenwood, Clarksdale, Tunica, and 105 for a lot of others here in North Mississippi. The further south you go, there is some of that rain-cooled air that'll keep those feels-like values a little bit more at bay, but overall we're seeing triple digits and miserable conditions for our heat. Typical July pattern, I'm not a fan of this July pattern, as you have not noticed already. So Monday overnight, sees those isolated showers continue to try to stick around, but when daytime heating goes away, so do those rain chances. So we're staying dry overnight in a much more calm and comfortable forecast for the start of our Tuesday. So if you're looking to get anything done, and we talked about this on Mainer Explainer last week, get it done in the morning because it's going to be drier and it's going to be cooler because by 10, 11 a.m. this week, we're talking about temperatures already in the 90s with real feel values way in the triple digits by this point. That's why we say early morning hours is the best time to do so. It's worth waking up early. Trust me, if you start in the afternoon, you'll realize why. So as we take a look, noon time on your Tuesday, some of those rain chances do try to creep in, but a lot of that moisture is still sticking out there towards Alabama as that frontal boundary clears a little bit more towards the east, and we're getting that high pressure building over the top of us. That dome of heat is going to be dominating our forecast by midweek. That's what we can experience. Keeps us dry, keeps us clear, but it also keeps us hot and much hotter than what we'll have for our Monday. So Tuesday, I have overly dry conditions for the day. A few areas out there towards northwest Alabama, Pickens, Lamar, Marion, and Franklin County going to be included within that, but those chances are very limited. Don't plan on having that rain gear, or using that rain gear, should I say. Just plan on having it in case. So as we look at high temperatures for Tuesday, we said they're going to be hotter, and is this hot enough for you, North Mississippi? 98 showing up more often than not on this graphic. Starkville, Houston, Bruce, South Haven, Greenwood, Clarksdale, Belzona, Kosciuszko, you name it, you'll probably have a 98 beside your name. So it's going to be a toasty forecast with the only saving grace, that little bit of moisture out there towards Alabama. That can move a little bit more west. We're looking at better temperatures, but don't expect that to happen. Heat indices, we're still talking 105 to 110 for all of North Mississippi. So buckle up for heat advisories and buckle up for extreme heat warnings as we head towards midweek especially, but even starting tomorrow for all of North Mississippi. High temperatures really going to peak by midweek, Tuesday and Wednesday included in that. We've been looking at this graphic and saying our only saving grace is moisture. It doesn't look like that'll be happening. Where the rainfall comes into play is Friday, Saturday, so temperatures trending a little bit better, and so will those heat indices. I mean, we're talking about triple digits all week long, but really peaking by Tuesday or Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with real field values anywhere from 105 to 110. Friday, Saturday could be below those heat advisory thresholds, so we might not see as much orange showing up on the map. Be a little bit more clear. Still need to take precautions, but at least it'll visually look better. So heat advisories in place until 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Extreme heat warnings for the Mississippi Delta, Panola, Tallahatchie, LaFleur, Sunflower, even as far north as DeSoto. And it doesn't end there. I mean, let's just expand this out and really show you, I don't think it was included, but expanding it out, and I'll show you this at 10 then, you'll really see just where those values go. Actually, I'll show you here in just a minute. I forgot we have another block that show how high those heat advisories and heat warnings go, how far north they go. That's that heat dome that we're talking about, and that's going to be taking place by midweek. So drier weather for Tuesday and Wednesday, but still as we head towards the latter part of the week, Friday, Saturday, seeing a little bit more of that moisture move in play. Probably not through a tropical system, but at least some interaction in the tropics, bringing up that moisture to North Mississippi, bringing us some saving grace. And I am counting down the days to Friday, if you have not noticed. So make sure to keep it here in the next 60 seconds and put your questions down in chat, as I do want the next segment to be a little bit more interactive and answer what you guys want to know heading into this week. I know that it's going to be hot, it's going to be dry, so there's not too much difference in today's forecast, but I know we're all counting on Friday, right? So stay with us in the next 60. You'll also find out what's the matter, or should I say, where's the matter, as he's going about Canada right now, gives the latest update on him and what he's experiencing. So here with 60 seconds, we'll go over more on the heat, go over where Matt is, and we'll answer a few questions. So keep it right here, Mississippi Live Weather.
At Room to Room, did you know our specialty is custom ordered upholstery? Get the furniture you want and the fabric and color selection you want. With our free design service, we won't let you make a mistake.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/act now.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, hello there. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon up here as we are arriving, as you can see behind me here, at one of the locations, probably our end location here in Vancouver, Canada. It has been an amazing trip here on the Via Rail Canadian train as we made our way through the Rockies. It was kind of interesting, the variety of terrain we ended up seeing, from the kind of mountains we've experienced a good chunk of the last week or so to the what honestly looked kind of like desert southwest sort of look of some of the mountains, but certainly it has been a lot of fun. I do have to admit, I did not sleep particularly well on the train, though my other half certainly did, comparatively speaking. But it was a unique and fun experience, and certainly something I think, like to try again at some point here in the future. We have made our way into Vancouver, which is one of the largest cities, certainly in Canada, on the western part of the continent, surrounded by ocean on multiple sides there. So I'm up kind of early to make sure that we are close to the beginning of the line for food. So I'm gonna get down there and get ready for that. But reporting up here from Vancouver, Canada, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon for Mississippi Live Weather.
You know, watching that every time. My wife and I had just got done watching Harry Potter, and it was her first time watching it. So seeing the train and what he's doing in Canada makes me think of Harry Potter. And so I know my wife is about to say, "Hey, Gabe, let's go to Canada." So we'll work on that. I know you're watching at home right now, so we'll work on that. But why we'll go to Canada is because it's cooler and we can finally escape this Mississippi heat. So I'm all on board for that. But looking at advisories versus warnings, this is a big sign of our forecast going over the next several days. We're not escaping the heat anytime soon. All of it is based off of heat indices, which is those real feel values paired with the mugginess as well as the actual temperature. So when those two things are paired together, they equal a number. And when that number surpasses 105 degrees for 2 or more hours, an excessive heat advisory is in place. But when it gets even higher, we're talking 110 degrees for any given period of time throughout the day, we're talking about extreme heat warnings. So basically a way to let you know it's going to be hot, it's going to be miserable. Stay prepared, stay hydrated, and of course, stay cool. Looking at those advisories and warnings right now, currently across all of North Mississippi, including parts of southern Mississippi as well. And out in the Mississippi Delta starts the extreme heat warnings. National Weather Service in Memphis forecasting at least 110 degrees or more for real feel values. We saw it on the graphic earlier, so just prepare by staying hydrated and staying cool. Honestly, if you have any plans to get outside tomorrow, do it in the early hours. Knock it out when it's a little bit cooler outside. And those alerts extend all across the state of Mississippi, and really Mississippi, Arkansas, as far north as Missouri, under those heat advisories. Even out there towards the east, you're seeing South Carolina and Georgia under those excessive heat advisories. So this heat dome that we're talking about, that's going to remain right over the southeast United States, going to be providing a lot of that drier air, but a lot of those hotter temperatures. There we go. So we'll go over really what a heat dome is in more detail as we go about the work week, because we'll be experiencing it in real life. But this is what to expect as we head into the week. You have a high ridge pattern that basically provides a lot of that drier air and doesn't have anything to expect with a low pressure center that's relieving us. Any cold fronts coming through, none of that will be happening here in the south central, southeast United States. So buckle up for the hot forecast going forward. Your day planner, you can take a look. That drier forecast is in place, but still 88 around 7, 81 by 10, and only talking the upper 70s, low 80s, close to 1 a.m. It's going to be a hot forecast moving forward with temperatures even higher than where we're sitting this afternoon. So stay hydrated, stay cool, and of course, stay updated. And one of the ways to do so, Mississippi Live Weather at 10. We're going over that in more detail, answering a few of your questions. And if you have any Weather Watcher pictures of the sunset tonight, we want to see them. Submit them on the Mississippi Live Weather app. So thank you so much for joining us tonight on Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I hope you guys have a great evening. Take advantage of the dry weather. Just make sure to stay cool in the process. See you back here.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy.